Welcome back to page 121. Today we're going to take a look at one of the newest additions to my library, the Traveler Ascension Imperial Warrant base game. Traveler's Ascension Imperial Warrant. It's a tough name to say, little tongue-tied. This is a board game that came out, I think, in 18. I'll double check that. And they did a Kickstarter and then released the game. I first saw the game at Adepticon here just outside Chicago in 2019. I played a short demo at the booth that they had, and I thought, oh, this is kind of neat. Well, I hemmed and hawed, and I eventually decided, well, I'll pick it up online later, or I'll pick it up next year. Unfortunately, 2020, next year never came. That was the year of the pandemic, and no Adepticon that year. And when we came back to Adepticon in 2022, Traveler Ascension by Daring Play Games wasn't there. So I never got an opportunity to actually see this again in person. I had an opportunity to pick this up off a third-party seller not too long ago. I got the base game and expansion 1, and I thought I would just take a quick look at it. I'm not going to pretend to understand how to play this game yet. This game is very complicated. It took me 4 hours just to sort the contents of the boxes. The boxes, unfortunately, were intermixed because it was a used game when I bought it. But the idea of the game is you are given an Imperial warrant by Emperor Cleon. This is Cleon Zunastu, founder of the Third Imperium. This game takes place at the dawn of the Third Imperium. Your mission, your Imperial warrant, is to go out into the galaxy and reclaim old worlds. So you're actually working for the Emperor, and you are going out and bringing old worlds back into the fold after all this time away, after the long night and everything. The interesting thing is, your other players have the same exact Imperial warrant, and you can use virtually any means to do it. And it's a game of economy, spying, military force. It reminds me a lot of the old GDW house games that they used to publish as part of Traveler. Just the Interplanetary and Snapshot, Mayday, Fifth Frontier War, all those games that were part of Traveler. That's what this reminded me of. And it reminded me of it when I played it a few years ago. And like I say, it was a very brief introduction. I don't really remember a ton about it. But I thought I would pick it up when I had the opportunity from the third-party seller. And it came with the first booster. The base game is for 2 players. When you buy the first booster, expansion 1, you can now play it with 4 players. There's another expansion 2, where you can play it with 6 players. That's going to be my ultimate goal, is to get my hands on the expansion 2, because my wife generally doesn't play the science fiction games, but I think I can talk the rest of the boys into playing, and that would be 6 of us. My wife, of course, is welcome to play, and I would just kind of stay as a kind of a neutral party. But here's what you get in the second box set, which is an opportunity to expand it and have new factions, new planets. Now, this does not take place in any part of known space, charted space as we know it, because the playboard is all the sectors and everything else. So you couldn't put this in just a chunk of Traveler space, because that history has already happened and the game would fly in the face of it. So I kind of like that too, is not only are you creating your own Traveler universe as you play this, it will never be the same twice. You're always going to have different things going on, different setups on the board. So all I'm going to do in this video is show these 2 boxes. I'm going to open up box 1, and we're going to take a look at some of the components in there. And again, I'm not going to pretend to understand it yet, because I'm still working my way through the rules. My eventual hope is to show this in at least a 2-player format, where I would play one of my other players, one of my sons, or Mike, Craig, or Roy, and we would play the game against each other. But there is also a solo game you can play in here, and I'm going to show a little bit of that as I open up the contents of the box. So now I'm going to take a look at the box. So this will be the base game, what you get inside. And mine was, as I said, mine was used, but gently used. Most of the stuff is in pretty good shape. There's a little bit crinked here and there, but not bad. This is a playboard. Your movement is sensors, missiles, attack, range, and target. That's how you fight. Yes, you can blow up each other's starships in this game. I think that's neat. Here's a turn track. 1 through 10 on the one side, 11 through 20 on the other. We get the standee assembly guide. You have little plastic meeples and starships in this to represent it. No reason you couldn't use metal or plastic ones if you had them. And here are the rules, the rule book. Traveler Ascension Imperial Warrant. Still working my way through this guy, but the idea is that you would go to a world and you would set up factories, a society, resources, just all kinds of different things, and then I could do the same in the same system, and then we end up against each other. Even though we are working for the same emperor, we each have our own warrant, and you only look good in the eyes of the emperor if we're the one that could succeed. And I kind of like that. You're actually playing against other members of the Imperium, but jockeying for position and such. Here's a nice handy reference sheet, which I like. It's on good, durable kind of plastic card. This is a board game, a setup where you place your cards as your turn commences. Nice backplate. I like the artwork on this a lot. They did a nice job with this whole package. It's very high quality. Scenario book for the base game. These are all scenarios you can play. And so Ascension is scenario 1, and then you have your victory conditions. And then if you want to add on, there's some add-ons that you can get through the website, the Daring Play website. I'll attach a link to that below. I believe they're still active. I don't know. I haven't ordered anything from them yet. I am hoping to get some of these add-ons. These add-ons I'll show. I have a couple that came with this. I'll show what they are. So there's the various scenarios, and you, of course, can come up with your own. And the one I'm interested in, because this is the one I'm probably going to learn on, will be, I think this is the solo one. Yeah, I believe this is the solo one. So I'm interested in seeing that. It gives you the number of turns that you have to accomplish the tasks. Yeah, number of players 1, 9 turns, hand size is standard. So I'm going to teach myself the game, and I'm going to teach myself to play that scenario. You get some really quality stuff in here. We get all the cards that you use. This is the secret deck, soldier's deck. You get various pieces that go into the planet on the game board. This is your own game board. I'm going to show how the game board sets up. I don't understand it yet, and these are different parts of the system that you're going to be in, that you'll be occupying. As I said, my 2 sets were intermixed. It took me about 4 hours to separate the 2. These are different worlds that you're going to be putting in. These are part of your game board. This is just, I love this idea. I'm excited about playing this. I love Traveler add-on games, always have. This is part of your game board too. I'll explain that in a minute. And I just want to show that this came as a really nice set. This is a little storage box for you. This is one of the little meeples that came in the set. It's just a little plastic guy. As I said, there's no reason you couldn't use a metal figure or one of your a plastic figure if you wanted for them. But I like the storage stuff. There's my whole bag of meeples. There's starships in here. You have a base set of cards. There are 99 cards, I believe, to start the game. It's just really nice. I'm really excited to have this. This was a huge regret when I didn't buy it at Adepticon in 2019. I wish I had, and I've regretted it now for almost 5 years. And I finally got it. So I'm going to show a little bit of how you set up. I'm not going to tear into a ton of this yet today because I'm still learning what goes with what, and I would just be making mistakes, and I don't want to do that. Oh, there's the other set of cards, destroyers. So you have different types of ships. You have scouts. They have to go into systems. They're the first ones that can enter an unknown system. Then you know randomly what's in the system, and then from there you can exploit the system. The other thing you have is your board setup. These are your cards, and you set up your board using these guys. And then as you build your stuff, you get more resources and you can do more. So it's a very dynamic game. They recommend you start with the gold side. So shadow science, military diplomacy, and these link together. So you have one solid piece once you've picked what you're going to be running. And then we have economic and movement. Yeah. So that's your baseboard right there. And then to attach to that is going to be what you are going to use to earn various rewards and abilities. Now, I'm not sure how these go, so I'm not saying that I'm placing them correctly. And they have little links that go between the two to hold them in place. So the idea will be, this will be my starting assets and stuff that's available to me, and then I have different resources I have to pay and different ways I can exploit various worlds that I find and fall into the Emperor's favor. As I said, I'm not read up all the way on the rules on this, so I'm not going to pretend to know exactly how to play it. But I know that's the baseboard setup. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I'm going to show out of the second box. That's where I stored my additional sets. These come as sets of, I think, a dozen cards. They're called add-ons. These are still available through the Daring Play website. I believe. I have not ordered anything through the website, so I'll put the link, but I'm not positive they're still there. These are the three I got with it: Linguistic Scholar, Master Architect, and Stealth Dojo. And these represent different add-ons and different factions I can then play in the base game. There are 16 of these add-on packs that I can buy, and on the website they're listed for I think it's $11, $10.95 each. I think it was, or I think it was $10.95 each. So these came with my base set. This is what somebody had bought and decided they didn't want. So I was pretty lucky in this. I got the first expansion, the base game, the first expansion, and these three all in the price I paid. So I don't have a link to that because it was a one-off from a private seller. But I will put the link to Daring Play Games. So there you have it. There are many looks at this game online. I'm just another one, but I thought you might be interested in seeing it. I want to go forward and show how to actually play the game and have some fun with it. And as soon as I learn the rules, I'll go ahead and I'll make up a video, and we'll see how to actually play the game and the whole board setup and everything. But that's all I've got today on page 121. I hope you liked what you heard and saw. If you did, please like and subscribe. Also, let me know what you think if you're interested in seeing more about Traveler Ascension. This, for me, was something that, like I say, I regret not getting in 2019, but I have now, and I'm excited about going through it and learning it. This and the Traveler card game were two of the main things I didn't buy when they were out, and I have regretted, so now I'm carrying both those regrets. I have the Traveler card game. Now I'm getting this, and I'm going to pick up a few more of these add-on packs. So that's all I've got today. I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on page 121.